Hello, everybody, and today I'm talking about the Robins. So, Robin has been a very important aspect of the Batman lore. So, I'm going to be ranking each Robin from my least favorite to my favorite. And might as well just talk about the lore and history and just have a fun time. So, the ones I have included on this list are Dick Grayson, Nightwing, Jason Todd, Red Hood, Tim Drake, Red Robin, and the current Robin, Damian Wayne, and 2 extra Robins, Stephanie Brown and Carrie Kelly. So we might as well get started. So my least favorite, I guess, is Stephanie Brown. So she's known as the Spoiler in the DC Comics. She's a vigilante, and she is the love interest of Tim Drake. I think he has a new love interest now. It was controversial, but that's a different story. But Stephanie Brown was Robin for a bit, but she wasn't Robin very long, as she went up against Black Mask, I'm pretty sure, in the comics, and apparently she failed the mission, and it caused Batman to fire her to her face, and so she decided she wanted to prove herself again, and it ended up getting her killed. But later this was retcon, where she didn't actually die. It's just the doctor made it look like she died. I think it was Leslie Tompkins. It made it look like Stephanie died. But no, she's alive. And I think she went on to be Batgirl. I don't know the timeline exactly, but she was Batgirl for a while, since Barbara Gordon was Oracle at that point in the timeline. But, yeah, I don't got much to say about Stephanie as Robin, since she wasn't Robin for very long, so not much to say. Next is Carrie Kelly. So if you don't, you're probably wondering who that is. Or maybe you do if you know your DC lore. But Carrie Kelly is from The Dark Knight Returned. I've only read a little bit of it. I've seen the movie. And I gotta say, it's a pretty good adaptation of Batman. He's probably the top Batman story in most people's opinions, but this is a more middle-aged Batman, and most of his sidekicks have moved on. We don't know where Dick Grayson is, but he does return in the sequel to that comic, which I heard wasn't very good, and Jason Todd's dead, but the Robin that steps in the shoes is basically Carrie Kelly, who was a fan of the character Robin, and she helps an older Bruce Wayne, and I like that dynamic between the two, but I would have to read the whole comic to be sure, and I just like the other Robins a little bit more than Carrie Kelly, but she's definitely a decent Robin for sure. We just haven't seen enough of her, other than that one big story, and I'm pretty sure The Dark Knight Returns too, which I've not read, but once I get to The Dark Knight Returns, I would definitely love to talk about it on this channel. But next is Damian Wayne Robin. So this is probably a surprise, or not, since a lot of people don't like Damian Wayne Robin. I myself, on the stance of Damian Wayne Robin, is I think he's very different from most Robins, because he was raised by Ra's al Ghul, and he was trained to be a weapon. But with Batman's mentorship, he's able to grow and become a better Robin. He still makes mistakes, though. He still has his bad impulses. He still has conflict with his dad, which makes the story interesting. But overall, he does learn to not have vengeance all the time, but learn justice. Because that's what Batman's been trying to teach him. But I don't know what he does currently in the comics. But I can say this for sure. He is definitely the right fit with Batman by his side. Like father, like son. So that's why I like Damian Wayne Robin. So what do you think of him? But he's more in like the New 52 DC movies. He's like a lot in it, a lot. But overall, he was definitely interested in Robin. Some people say he's bratty. Yeah, he is. That's kind of what takes points down for me for this Robin. But overall, I think he's an interesting Robin for sure, with good backstory and storytelling. So next is Red Hood, otherwise known as Jason Todd. So originally, Jason Todd was not really well liked as Robin because people thought he was just a copy of Dick Grayson, and he kind of was, but as time went on, he eventually became a more corrupt Robin. Like, he was aggressive to most criminals. And then eventually, the very unfortunate thing happened. The Joker murdered Jason Todd while he tried to save his mother, who was working with the Joker, and Joker betrayed her. But Jason didn't have enough time to escape, and Batman didn't make it in time. And unfortunately, Jason was dead for a long time as Robin, but eventually he was brought back when Superman Prime or whatever punched the multiverse. It's very convoluted, but eventually that's what brought back Jason Todd. But I like the Under the Red Hood movie, which is an amazing movie. I've reviewed it a while ago, but he was resurrected through the Lazarus Pit, which is a version I really prefer. It doesn't have to be so convoluted. Let's just have Ra's al Ghul resurrect Jason Todd. And eventually he becomes the Red Hood. And this is what people really like about Jason Todd. He returns as a mysterious Red Hood who is not holding back. He kills criminals. He wants revenge on the Joker. And he tries to make Batman literally reach to his limit, trying to make him kill the Joker. He'll do it himself. We get this beautiful scene of Batman saying why he doesn't kill, because he'll just be killing a bunch of other people, and he'll be just like the criminals that killed his parents. And Jason knows this, but he goes along with trying to kill the Joker anyway. And eventually in stories like The Three Jokers, which is a great story, by the way, I think Jason ends up killing one of the Jokers in it. But overall, Jason is definitely really good as Red Hood. It's like the Winter Soldier. That's his copycat. But next, for my second favorite Robin is Tim Drake. Okay, so Tim Drake is controversial now. I don't know why, but let's not talk about it. Let's talk about what we love about Tim Drake. So Tim Drake is basically the smartest Robin. He basically wanted to fill in the shoes of Robin because after the death of Jason, it really devastated Batman. He started becoming more aggressive. And so Tim was trying to convince Nightwing to come back to be Robin, but he's like, no. But Tim decided that he must become Robin because Batman needs a Robin. So he doesn't go full on dark mode when he's taking out the criminals of Gotham. And since then, Tim has become Red Robin. So he's mainly in stories of the Teen Titans and stuff, and I really like his costume too. But his origin's more different in the animated series, where he has sort of a more Jason Todd origin, where Batman finds him after Jason was too following into the life of crime. Same goes with Tim in the animated series, where he was stealing from criminals. He had a batarang, but Batman recruited him and had him become Robin. Well, Tim wanted to become Robin. So, yeah, because they just love it. They love being Robin. And so, yeah, that's Tim Drake, Robin. I feel like I think of him when I think of Robin. So that's why I really like him. Because he is wants to be the third successor as Robin. And so he continued the path to help Batman in his growing force to fight for justice. But the first Robin is easily the best Robin, in my opinion. And it's no surprise. It's Dick Grayson, as Nightwing. I feel like it's no contest. But Dick Grayson is easily the most successful Robin, in my opinion. He lost his parents in a circus accident, or not really. But Batman was able to find his way to help him grow out of the shell of being Batman. So he's basically what Batman couldn't become, where Dick is able to have happy relationships. He's able to find balance for himself, where he doesn't have to be lost in grief of his own parents. But Dick moved on from Robin to be Nightwing because he wanted to have a life of his own, which makes perfect sense. And he's got an awesome costume, and Dick has been Robin to Nightwing ever since. And there's some stories that where he's like Rick Grayson. I never understood that storyline, or I'm pretty sure I heard recently that Batman's Nightwing in the recent comics, which I guess is just the comics experimenting. But overall, when I think of Dick Grayson, I think of Nightwing, Batman's successor. And he's like the most Robin that has not had something really bad happen to him. Well, mostly. But Tim Drake, if you don't know in the animated series, he gets brainwashed by the Joker, and he becomes Joker Jr., and that was sad. Jason gets killed. Damian has already had a rough life. And Carrie Kelly, I don't think she had it rough, but the spoiler, she literally almost died. But Dick Grayson, he's easily the best Robin at number 1, in my opinion. I don't want to ramble on too much, but that's this video. I don't know what ranking I'll do next. It's similar to what I did with the Green Lantern video, so maybe I'll do a more fun discussion video. So with that being said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.